Hello, everybody. Welcome back here another day of wisdom and astrology for you. Hopefully, find you in a good mood. Hopefully, you're okay. And how's things? You can drop a comment in there, see how the astrology report works for you in there. But as you see it today, the energy is gonna be basically this picture as you see it. Uh, So many things are entangled within lives. So many things needs to be what? Straightened out, put it away, organized in there. But all that looks like the way its life is. Organized chaos in there with lack of organizations, lack of all the mixed up and so forth and so forth. Too many connections, too many things, don't know where that goes. But they all have what? They all have their own way of organizations, chaos. But how, on the basis of a past experience, you're going to be able to make this organization chaos to something better. You have to go ahead and straighten things out. On the basis of a past experience, okay, before you saw how to do this, now you're finding the different ways because you improve yourself, I hope. And with that improvement, this kind of like a straightening of this chaos in there is going to be even better for you. So with this energies, guys, be mindful about it because sometimes what we do is we think that we organize something, we actually don't. We actually made it a bigger chaos. And this is one of the things we're going to be paying attention today. So without ado, here is your chart, right? Here is that cable mixed up. Here is that energy, is the way I was showing you in the pictures up here. And this is what's going to happen in the morning. We are moving from this organizations that it's been done from yesterday. I hope you learn how to do things, how to communicate. But the morning energy is going to be a reminder about this. For talking about this Mercury Jupiter situations with the moon. The moon it still is gonna be doing some little bit that squaring with Jupiter, but it's gonna be opposing Neptune and the North Node. That energy is gonna comes in. It's like where I need to organize my life. But as the moon today is going to be going into South Node within the South relationships, things is going to get a little bit rough. And those debugging in there, kind of like trying to put this organizations, trying to put these cables to all be nice, the label put in, all these connections with life, everything. You know, I have my work relationships. They're blue color. I have my red relationship. Those are the people I don't like it anymore. I have this green relationships. That's my divine relationship. I have this yellow one. Those are my friends. I have this other colors. So we're beginning to kind of like organize things. But those organizations, they're coming and you have to be truthful when there. But sometimes what do? You mix the one with the other. You mixing up certain things with a certain situations in there. And when you mix it up, guess what happens? A conflict rises up, certain things is not there, and people start mistaking certain things for certain ways, particularly in a basic out of the past. Since if you're living in the past, don't bring it back into the future. You're living in the past to see it as a library. How you gonna be done it in the past? Okay, so you see it in there, you read it, and then it coming back into the present. Okay, there's gonna be a these energies. You maybe felt that similar energies in the past 48 hours in there, but that is coming from the past based experience. Now it's gonna be asking you to act in a different way. Okay, so the moon it's gonna come in because tomorrow we are gonna be have to finding the truth, but you're also finding different truth because sometimes when you find it the truth, the things that you thought the things they are the way they are, they weren't, and that is the power of the truth. Certain truths they're gonna be revealed tomorrow, But today, you're going to be going from organizations to set your relationships in order. All right, you start straightening it out. That's going to be at 8 o'clock energy. As you see it, is looking a little different, right? You've seen it. That is going to be this masculine order. You know, basically the man who goes inside a garage and organize everything in there, because in the garage has to be an order. It's the same thing in the feminine energies. When you go to the closet in there, all the clothes, they have to be put it away, not to be like that, right? Or the shoe closet. You have on the shoe closet? All right. So talking about with those energies, the masculine energy is going to be a very much a well. They're preparing for this intuitions that comes into work in there. Okay, as the midheaven is with the south node, everyone is going to be looking into the past. What it was done, how does it work, what is it the way better to the things to work much within that. So the energy is going to become a little bit better. But you need to understand from life, things are going up and down. Sometimes you need to disconnect to connect and connect to disconnect, right? So with this kind of like of energy in the next hour, midheaven that's going to be at Libra and it's square Venus that is at Capricorn, situations are start getting a little better, but it's something it needs to be work things out. Okay, and that is in the personal level. Okay, we're talking about Chiron, who's going to be right there. Because Chiron it squares Venus, and Venus is squaring the inner work that it's at Libra. So basically squaring its own self. That is a like, can you see yourself in a 45 degrees? Basically, like this. What do you see in there? How can you judge yourself if you're judging yourself? What can you do? Because that other side doesn't see the things that needs to be healed. So with this kind of like an energy as the ascendant is with Mercury, some of the things you don't want to talk, you don't want to speak about it. And that energy that it's coming, the moon is already transiting from Virgo. It's basically, okay, I organize these things. I understand I have to organize it. The question is how I'm going to be right now putting into my life. All those cable, all those energies, all these things, how I'm going to be doing it in my life. You're going to be working with that energy, but be mindful about the dualities because this Neptune and Pisces can create a lot of energies. Maybe I could, maybe I should, maybe I would, maybe maybe this, maybe this. You're trying to play this subconscious roles in there, but you have to look in the past what did you did, because Neptune was going retrograde in there. He says like, hey, things have to be the way they need to be moving forward, but you need to revise this past. And is the moon gonna go in there within the south node? Things is gonna get like form of a, let's say like a post-traumatic stress disorder. It's kind of like a things from the past are coming into life. Okay, don't allow that past to go ahead and discourage it. Oh, there is so much mess, so much things. Oh, what do you mean I have to separate all this mess of this cables, of these connections, of these situations is in there? Well, when everything is in order, you're going to be able to plug it in to your system, organize your system within you. While, for example, I have these friends, but they're not that good for me. So you're plugging in the blue within the yellow, and guess what? You have something that it's not working right. And with this kind of like of communications within yourself, things is gonna be turning to a different role. You're trying to paint something that is not that color. It's the same way like you try to give someone something that he's not. Okay, just because you wanted it. So you gotta be very careful with these energies in there, because that energies later on you're gonna be asked to revise. But as the truth is gonna come out, the truth is gonna come out, and those pressures in the next hour at 10 o'clock, as the ascendant is at Capricorn, is going to be asking you what? Your work relationships. It's Monday. What is your relationships are? What is it the truth that is you have in there? How to organize this after all this? Because this picture of this cables that I had it for you guys for this right here. This is your life. Whose mess is that? Whose mess is that? Yours. Okay? And that's what we're talking about this. You to go ahead and straighten this out in a proper way. Not like you're going around and you try to make it in a twist and turns and so forth with this, because this energy is going to be remind you for something else. Because I had another picture for you guys for the today for the report, but I think that this is more difficult in there, because with that difficulty you're trying to manage this ball to go and going all the way up there, but that's what you came from, right? And you have to be very very careful how you navigate this. And it's the same thing with those cables, with those connections, what they are, what are they standing at. Some of the people, they mixed it up personal connections with work relationships in there, okay? Or they're mixing up friendshipness with kind of like a work relationships or a personal attachment or personal needs and so forth with that. So you gotta be mindful with those where they are, because it's organization time. Okay. Now later on at 11 o'clock, we are seeing it that the midheaven is gonna be at Scorpio. That is an opposing Uranus there. Uranus currently he is in divine energies with Mercury. Basically, the divine sends you some messages, and some of those messages they can be very hectic. They may be connecting with old situations. Maybe in the past you tried to organize all this, but nothing happened, and you left at this, and now you have to go back in there, and the divine says like you need to put this out of the way. If everything has to be going the right way, it has to be the right way. And seeing it within those energies, the ascendant that is a within divine energies with Jupiter, you need to grow and mature about this. Finally, you get into this connections you have. You getting into this proper way, because you're learning. There is something new is coming, and that new is required you. I'm gonna give you a yellow light. I'm gonna give you a friend. They're gonna be a friends. You gotta hook him to the yellow light. I'm gonna be giving you a lovers. I wanna give you a love, but it's gotta be this pink line. I'm gonna give you some work relationships. It's gonna be those green lines, those blue lines. And I'm gonna give you this, and you gotta be watching for those red lines in there, right? So you seeing it all this, it's coming. It is about to reorganize the proper ways to be in the reality. As you see it in the next hour, the authority understands that organization. If in one authority doesn't have organization, what kind of organizations is gonna be, right? Everything it's required to be have within this kind of like a type within yourself. If you look at it on those positions in there, it is required to have some kind of like a low loss in there, not loss like you're losing something. I'm talking about loss like for the judgment system. Okay, you gotta have some kind of like rules and engagements within all that. So with those energies there, you're organizing your masculine energies, you organize the intuitions within the past, you're organizing the place where you're going. See, you're not organizing right now for like, oh, so I can be looking pretty as before. Now you're organizing for the upcoming energies that it's coming towards you. You're setting up the path for the age of Aquarius so you can be hooked up to the energies. Okay, This is what the reason is. If you're wondering about what is going on right now within your life and why your life is all this entanglements, that it's the purpose. Okay, 1 o'clock. Meet Kevin is gonna be with Mercury. Communications is gonna be revised. Of course, communications. You need to understand that communications exist within the humans, but communications exist within machines. Two machines, they have a bunch of cables, okay, and they talking to each other. That is the robot and the machine. The machine says to the robot, and the robot says into the machine, and they're working together so they don't harm each other. But in a human wise, what is our communications in there? Okay, see, and the machines, they has to be a perfect, always checked out. Once it's wired, it's a machine. They don't have emotions. Human does have emotions, however, and the human can change. And this is what this entanglements in there with those changes that it's going to process within you. You're going to be determining who is what within you. Okay, but the first thing you have to look there, do you give this blue line to the red, or you get this red line to the blue? And sometimes you're like, oh my God, I should have not done this, I should have not done that, I should have, could have, would have. Okay, it's a lesson. But you also look at in the past, your past experiences. The moon is already walking into a Libra. It's about those relationships. They're gonna be coming in there. And as the fogginess is gonna be walking in, which is that's gonna be a Neptune and Pisces in there in these positions for, you are gonna be seeing it within yourself like something. It's kind of like a clouding your judgment. Why the clouding of the judgments comes in? Because lack of the orientation, lack of order. Okay, and the lack of order leads to what? To a disorder, to distort energies, and that's how this kind of like a type of connections. They're kind of like a here, there, so forth and so forth. You pay attention to something that actually should pay attention to something completely different. So the universe kind of like it tells you how to organize this and what is the divine work that needs to be done. Mostly of the divine work on the next hour is going to be connecting with what? With Mars. Actions. Okay? Actions. The warrior wants to act upon of going forward. You're stopping the warrior, you get in the war with the warrior. But you gotta be careful because right now the warrior have another issue. He has to fight the general, which is Pluto, right? And without transformations that it's coming in with all these situations, Pluto is sextiling the sun, and the sun is trining Mars. Everything has to be approved by you. All those things, they have to be approved within yourself. Most of the time, people looking for approval from an outside. Some outside to said, oh yeah, you're like this, or you're like that, you and so on and so forth. You approve things from yourself to yourself. When you don't have to ask for certain permission for certain situations. Are you mature enough to get to this position? You to be an authority within your own self. And this is sometimes is require a lot of things. But as you see it at this time, the sun is in a very beautiful positions, right? Very beautiful. All right, divine time, divine love. That is about Jupiter is gonna come in. Where is the love? Where is the divine love and what it needs to be? Well, Venus in the inner work, they are squaring Lilith. As you see this square energies with Chiron. Something is not healed with the love. Something is not, it's not working with the love. Why? Why is that? What is the growth? Is the friendshipness within yourself is the missing in there? Because you want others to love you, but you don't love the others because you don't love yourself. How that's gonna happen in there? So with this interesting energies in there, those situations can rise up, but the growth of the divine is gonna come in. It says like, look at that love. Look at what happens in there. Okay? You gotta strike those green lines, those green wires. They usually are grounding. They're coming from the heaven and they have to be grounding. All right, next hour. Midheaven is with Pluto. We are having this communications is in there, but the moon and the south node, they are training with the inner work and Pluto at the same time. It's with the north node, and that's how these oppositions with Mars is overcome. But you have the fights. Hopefully you learn right now to stop fighting these situations. Can't fight the new energies, so might as well go with it. It's kind of like, okay, I surrender. I see things doesn't work. I have to go. All right, next hour. Oh, communications, communications, communications. We'll talk about communications, communications, communications. The way you talk, the way you express yourself. Okay. Something is there and you don't want to talk about the growth. Something out there is suppressing that talk because you don't want to talk about the new future. You don't want to talk about those dark situations you're facing from before. It's kind of like I don't want to plug these wires back in because I have to do a work. I don't want to get this communications go back in there to clear things out. And this is going to be kind of like a heavy energies because maybe something from the past is going to be brought out back to you. Maybe in a form of dream, maybe in a form of a past lovers, maybe a something that it's going to come out towards you. In these situations that is going to trigger things the heck out of you. But as the inner work is at Aquarius, those are going to be the energy that's going to be like, don't worry about it. You have a road to go. Walk on the road, don't worry about it. Whoever has to be with you, they'll catch up with you. They'll be with you. They'll be next to you. There will be right things in there. But a lot of the people are going to be focused of this particular energies that it's between Jupiter and the Venus. It is about that and the lack of the communications because ascendant is there. You see, people have a tendency right away when they see something, when right away to process it, instead of taking the time to process it. Is really the first thought that I thought is the right thing. Okay. All right. Next hour. The ascendant is going to be at Cancer. It's a 6 p.m. Squaring the North Node. But there is a divine energies within the authority. There is a divine energies that's coming from the Earth. There is a divine energies coming from midheaven towards the Moon. And everything it begins to this kind of like a reconnection. Okay, you organize things. And now it's like, okay, I didn't organize fully everything. But whatever I organized, let me plug it in to see how I feel. How do you feel when you organize the chaos at the house or a chaos at work or the chaos in your life and all of a sudden there is a moment that you feel tired? It's like, oh, I see this is beautiful. Let me see if it works. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and you see it, how beautiful that is working, right? Right now, this works, that works, this, and all of a sudden, well, why this is not working? Why is that not working? Why is this connections doesn't work? Why this understanding doesn't processing in there within me? And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I haven't hooked up these wires. I haven't organized this. I haven't put this in its place. How I want this to work. So this is going to be on the next hour when you see this energies that needs to be reorganized. That's going to be particularly with Jupiter in there and Mercury. As the moon is going to be beginning to join really the south node there, and the midheaven moves into a Pisces, is something within a subconscious when it says like, aha, I knew it. Yeah, you knew. But you didn't respond. Why you had to wait it until today to respond to this? Why you had to wait it to a certain positions and places to get to these positions that you have to wait into the last moment so the age of Aquarius can come and it tells you organize these things. Okay? Why? Well, the answer is because there were so many things. You do not know where you are going, and you are still battling with situations inside of yourself. Ascendant is together with Mars, and midheaven is with the North Node. Authority, work, transformations, universe is all connected in there with yourself. All it was missing is a one time you to put things in a proper perspective within you and let the universe tells you here those lines are, here's what they represent, and here what you need to hook it up. Okay, this is like, imagine those phone cables. There are like thousands of wires in there, and they are like a red wire with white, red wire with blue, red wire with black, red wire with green, and they are all kind of like a mix and match in there. And the technician knows, opens this. It's like, I need to hook it up this wire to here, this wire to here, this wire to here, because they color market. And you're gonna be learning how to market in things for the future. You're putting new things in order by the new order that it's coming, because the old doesn't work. And all that comes in from where? The power of understanding the warrior within you, that you're preparing yourself for some better life to come. All right. Wounds. Healing wounds. Of course. You're trying to do certain works and you're tired. You're trying to do the same thing and you're tired. Because you remember the last time you took that wire and hooked it up, what happened in there? Something happened, right? Somebody hurt you. You don't want to kind of like have those kind of like friends. You're too much cautious, with too much in there. But now the universe says like you cannot leave it unplugged. What you gonna do? And you're like, I'm gonna plug in it with trust within the universe. And this is what's gonna happen much later on when the Mars is gonna be going forward after he's been in retrograde. You're gonna see this energies between Mars and Saturn. We had that energies between Mars and Saturn in there, but currently, right now, Saturn is moving forward. It was not anymore retrograde to have that divine energies, but you're gonna be seeing it, and you're gonna have to have this masculine courage to get up and do it once more time, to get up and get it one more time, not to give up in the life, but to get forward and ahead within life. The healing part is going to be here with Venus and Lilith. We talk about these energies, but this energy is going to be more effective and more hurtful. It's going to be happening about tomorrow. Because tomorrow, the moon is going to be here, and that particular energies within the feminine is going to come out. So be mindful of your masculine energies today. What do you preset in your mind about feminine energies? But be careful about the feminine energies that it's there. You may gonna find some things that relates between mother-daughter, granddaughter situations in there within the feminine energies. But that is gonna be till tomorrow. But you may gonna find something today. And why would you gonna find something today? Because today the moon is within the past, trying to figure out things, situations, forgiveness. Have you forgive something that happens in the past? It's gonna be asking you about, because some of those wires that you need to hook it up in the connections and your relationship situations, it's gonna be required you to experience it. See, if you are being a daughter, now you're in a position to be a mother, but you are unplugged for what the mother situation is. But the universe says like, well, it's time for you to become the mother. You need to hook up these cables there that says like connections, mother. You hook them up, right? And that is it, one thing that some of the people, they're going to be experiencing. All right, 10 o'clock. The ascendant is going to be at Leo. The inner work is going to be at Taurus. lately with that kind of like a Taurus, those material situations kind of like a being rough, right? Okay, but they're gonna get better. That's gonna be getting better. The things is gonna be moving pretty much pretty soon. As Uranus, it's gonna be turning direct. Right now, Uranus is retrograde. It's like I am reviewing. What did you do? Did you plug it in this cables where it's supposed to? Okay, you cannot hook it up. The vacuum. The vacuum. It's 110 volts to your car battery. It's only 12 volts. It's not gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. You're trying to supply 12 volts to your house. Doesn't work. But it's the same time you take the 110 and hook it up to your car, you're burning your car electronics. It's not going to work. This is what Uranus is asking you to review what you are doing in there. Connections, it's also communications. So by learning how to communicate, you will learn how to connect. Of course, yeah, it's 11 o'clock. A lot of divine energies coming. They're gonna comes out to you. Organizations, divine energies, North Node, and all of a sudden you organize all those wires and you hook that up. This is like an outside. You wire it all the Christmas lights. Right now it's a Christmas season, and you turn it on and you see it how everything works. All those red lights, blue lights, or the green lights, or the white lights, and it's everything begins to work. Where you put something within yourself. Imagine how you will light up when you put all these connections, all these lights within yourself, and all those energies. You put them and organize them, and right now they're working properly within you. And that's something that you should have done it. But is the time not right in the back? Or is the time is now? You're gonna finding things from within yourself that you kind of like giving a second chance, second thought, second another chance. For some, it's gonna be second. For some, it's gonna be third, fourth, fifth, 10th, however long it takes, as long as you turned those lights. You put your connections in a proper order within yourself. And hopefully that's what's gonna happen to you. And thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you. Thank you for the comments, and I will be talking to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Be love, and do it. It's gonna be a good for you. Whatever you do, just do it.